Hey guys, it's here bringing you another video. Welcome back to another Challenger Spectate. Today we are watching Skarner. So I've actually yet to play the new Skarner. And I know they're doing some balancing here and there, because basically he's much better at top lane than he is jungle. And that was not Riot's intention. I was in the dev meeting to this champion's rework. And someone asked the question, you know, what role is he? And they legitimately said, oh, he's only a jungler. Maybe you can off-roll top, but he's a jungler. And hilariously, he's amazing in top lane, and people are even playing him in support. Obviously, modern support, you can basically play anything. But hilariously, where he's supposed to shine is jungle, and he's not. So we're watching a top lane game just to see how it goes. And the funny thing, he's against a Gwen. Why is that funny? So you can kind of equate Skarner in a lot of ways to just a tank top laner, like Sion and stuff like that. Gwen, by design, is supposed to be good against those type of champions. She annihilates them. Conqueror, she's got sustain, her damage is high. She's ultimately supposed to just shred through them. So let's see how it goes. What's interesting to me is two things. He started W, which is the shield, and the bit of AoE damage, but has started Doran's Ring. I've seen a few Skarners, and again, a lot of them have been top lane in my games. None of them have started Doran's Ring. So yeah, a bit peculiar. And again, that AoE, to be fair, it just hit all 6 of the minions. There's not actually a lot of AoE spells in the game that just straight up hit all 6 straight away. So I guess that's maybe why. And obviously for anti-trading, having a shield against Gwen was good. But you're seeing the moment that Gwen gets to full stacks, Skarner has to respect it a little bit. First blood happening down in bot lane from the Poppy support. He's got his little Rocky taking Q. So again, Skarner nowadays presses Q, he gets a rock. I believe it increases his attack speed or something like that while he's attacking. And when he smashes the rock on somebody on like the third auto attack or something like that. But you also can just yeet it like that. You can yeet it at somebody and it actually does quite a lot of damage. So it does the same amount of damage, by the way. His final attack will deal an additional 15% max health physical damage. It does the exact same thing if you throw it, but obviously it's riskier to throw it because you could miss. So this is actually quite funny to me. He misses the E, which is like the mini Sion charge, but he's actually doing pretty good. Like, straight up, this Gwen I would have thought would have actually taken lane phase quite easily, and Skarner's out-sustaining in some avenues, got a shield, can AoE. Gwen is just slowly dying. Huh. I didn't expect that to happen. One thing is worth mentioning, I don't know why, but there's a Viego mid lane on the enemy team. No idea why. Viego, unfortunately, is in the buff list upcoming, but he's pretty strong. I don't know if you guys have yet seen it, but Riot released a preview of the patch. Yeah, I think people are already complaining about it. Like, it's such a pro lane. It's for MSI, right? The mid-season invitational tournament. It's going to make solo queue an absolute nightmare. They're buffing already strong solo queue champions. Akali, Silas, they're Yone. They're getting all buffed. And it's like, they're already good in solo queue, and they're getting buffed. Ugh. And again, it's because pro play. Pro play is fundamentally different than solo queue. And what Riot do when tournaments come is they try to hard force the meta that they want. They want crazy, flashy plays, so they're buffing Akali, Silas, and Yone. They're even buffing Viego, you know? So, maxing W, by the way, is actually what's happening. So the W, by the way, gets a nearly 100 shield at this rate, and also deals just over 100 damage. I'm guessing, like, the damage output, the AoE, which also pushes... Because what I'm kind of seeing here, right, is a Gwen, a lot of the time, actually has pretty good wave clear, and the Gwen is the one that gets to do good wave clear in AoE and then looks to trade on the opponent. Because the Skarner is just constantly Wing, it's giving no time for a Gwen to fight the Skarner. And she's taking just every now and then, she's just taking this AoE kind of thump damage, and obviously little trades there are obviously going to help a Skarner. She just can't trade against him. This could change at level 6, but yeah. Tier first item, by the way, for Skarner, that's obviously going to be whatever the Fumblewinter, I think it is. So, yeah. Some people may go, why'd you put a ward down here, not this bush? So basically, the idea of that ward is to give you extra time of, you know, It's unlikely the Kindred's going to come from this way, so the Skarner is guessing, and again, slams. Look at that. She's nearly dead. Unfortunately, doesn't get the kill, but that's really close. But yeah, it's... Oh my... Wait, what? He got it. Wait, what? Hold on. I need to see what happens. So Gwen's health, 165. Does he have Scorch? Scorch. He literally got this kill through Scorch. So runes just to go over. Phase Rush. Mana Flow Band. Celerity. Scorch. And then Demolish. Overgrowth. And then attack speed, health, health. I never would have expected a Gwen to die in the early game to a Skarner. Like, I know Gwen herself is not an early game champion, but nor is Skarner. Like, he's not supposed to be an early game beast like this. He's not. So he's going to go for a Bammies early. And obviously the good thing about modern items, and I do say that loosely, at least nowadays there is a obviously MR version of Sunfire. So if you're playing a tank where before Gwen was just a crazy counter, there was not great early game items against something like a Gwen, you now can buy the MR Sunfire equivalent. And then, oh, okay, so if Gwen, this is the crazy thing, right? So this Gwen is proxying. The people that lose lane, proxy. Like, 100%. People that can't lane very well, they proxy. And this Gwen is basically admitting, I can't lane. Look at this! Look at this! These are challenger players. The Gwen tried to proxy, the Skarner wasn't having it. Skarner just fights and drags her into tower and she dies. But yeah, typically, people that are terrible at lane phase or their champion is bad at lane phase, they will proxy because they're like, I don't want to fight that thing, I can't fight it. Gwen is not one of those champions, by the way. Gwen is a duelist champion that's amazing to duel and stuff in lane phase. So the fact that she already looked to potentially proxy just shows how crazy this Skarner actually is. She feels that she can't trade against him. And now he's going to proxy, which again, he should not proxy, by the way. It's worth saying that. The only way that he should proxy is he feels it's going to create so much pressure that Gwen has to come stop him and he'll just kill Gwen. But this is why he shouldn't proxy, by the way, because it just gets 3 of the enemies on you. He probably might be alive here, by the way, if his E's coming up and he just runs away to the very next day. Bum, 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 ba-dum. But that was Rakan, Diego, and Gwen, and he gets out alive. So again, pressure is good, put it that way. Pressure is always good. He's deciding not to base. Okay. I don't think Gwen can tower dive him now that she doesn't have ult, so he'll be fine. Maybe a Kindred tower dive, it could work, because obviously Kindred's got the immunity. But yeah, wow. So far, again, it doesn't look like Skarner does a lot of damage, and I think realistically he doesn't do a lot of damage. What this is, it's constant. It's a constant, like, pressure. Not many champions can deal with that. Even Gwen can't deal with that. And you look, Gwen's proxying again, by the way, if you look at the minimap over there, because she can't lane against Skarner. She's admitting she can't lane against a Skarner. Now, what Gwen might be thinking... Oh, bark. Give me a second. Right, I'm back. Sorry about that. You might have even heard Maya bark inside. I had to make sure she was okay, and she was. Someone was walking past my house, and she found it offensive. So Gwen... So, dude... You can't even proxy against the Skarner. That was pretty sick, though, not gonna lie. He E'd, dragged her closer to tower, then ultimated her into tower. Damn. Now, here's my question to you guys. And this is genuinely my question. Riot will probably... Because, again, Riot, like most game devs, when they design something for something, they want it to be that thing. Typically. So, like, Skarner is a jungler, his rework, they want him to be a jungler. They really do. I'm actually okay with him being a top laner. What do you guys think? I don't think you have to make Skarner a jungler. Like, the biggest thing with his jungle, I would say that he's not utilizing fully, is his E. Going through, obviously, terrain is a really good jungle thing. It's a good gank mechanic and everything. But I don't think it's terrible that he isn't just jungling. You know? Because in modern day League, let's be honest, there's a lot of picks that now have multiple roles. And I think that's not the worst thing in the world-ish. I think there are some that are worse than others, but I'm not. Oh, so this Gwen I think is mental boom, by the way. I don't know if anybody caught that. The Gwen was ulting the minion wave, genuinely. So these is always I like doing challenge spectates to learn, and I like to be like, oh, this is what's going on. But I've always said I do like to do challenger spectates to show we all have bad solo queue teammates, right? We all have that inter, we all have that whatever. The Gwen's doing it. The Gwen is basically inting at this stage. For a challenger player, you know, there's different definitions of inting, and I think that's sometimes what people get a bit wrapped up. Is this Gwen running down mid lane and running into the enemy tower? No, but there's different definitions of inting. This Gwen is playing in a way that she knows she's going to die over and over and over again. And as a challenger odd player, she knows that's really bad. Basically, the better you are technically as a player, you're supposed to be held to a higher standard. And I think that's where, in higher rating, this is a form of inting. You're not adjusting your playstyle, you're not playing in a way to limit how many deaths you're doing, which is what you should be trying to do. So Proxy, once again, has made the Viego come over. Now, the Viego hasn't actually done anything yet this game. So Skarner, he's probably going to die now, I'd imagine. Oh? Yeah, he's dead. So, worth mentioning, I don't think the Skarner should be proxying. I've said this a few times. You don't proxy if you're winning. If you're the strong laner, don't proxy. Because all it does is make multiple opponents come and kill you. And the Skarner is amazingly obnoxious and strong in the 1v1, but against 3 people, he's probably going to die. So both times the Skarner's thought about proxying himself, he's died. Or not died, he's got ganked. That was his first death. But it's just, it's not needed. When he's already winning lane, keep doing what you're doing, don't proxy. That is what I would say. So he's TPing to this minion. Again, TP is still bugged. He's got his thingy, his rock. Gwen is obviously going to do her best to try and stop him getting the kill, which is good. She might even try to TP away. She's overdoing it now, because like if she genuinely gives him the kill, that is legit inting. Yeah. So like, if she tried to deny that death, fair enough. If she TP'd away or, you know, executed a tower, but she let Skarner get another kill. And I know some people go like, what about Bowsen's law and all that stuff? Unfortunately, that has been a bit of a plague, especially on top lane for a while. I don't think the Gwen is particularly doing Bowsen's law perfectly, but she might be in her mind thinking, oh, that's what I'll do. But at the same time, I think, you know, Gwen is a strong laner, and maybe she could have just played the lane a bit different. Maybe, you know, she wasn't so far behind of dying 5 times. She probably would have had 1 item complete, and maybe she could fight a Skarner now. But it's the way that she's played that's made her so far behind. So, completed item is Heartsteel, and they're doing a lane swap. So, AD carry, you could basically say, they're the main character of the game. So, it's one of the weird things that even though Skarner's doing great, so is Jinx, but because they got the tower down here, you lane trade, and Jinx gets to get all the farm in top lane, but it's mainly to go kill another tower. And that basically is because AD carries, as I said, they are the main character of the game. They're the main carry in your team most of the time. So that's kind of why. You're trying to feed as much gold into the AD carry as possible. So big play happening. That was a big Aurelion ult. And there you go, Gwen double kills. The Gwen, by the way, I said, isn't really weak. I think she just got tilted and then decided just to kind of stop, I don't know, stop laning properly. But that wasn't, she wasn't specifically weak herself. I still don't know why there's a Viego mid. Like, again, some people, I don't know if it's a known player or anything. Maybe he's a Viego one trick. I have no idea. I don't know why someone would be playing Viego mid. Oh. Oh. Oh, just missed. Oh, and he misses his ulti. So obviously, this new Skarner ultimate is much the same as it used to be. The difference being he can hit 3 people because he's got 3 tails, and it's a channel kind of area, you know, cone, where before it was obviously a point and click. So it's definitely a better version of the ultimate because, you know, if you want to avoid getting Skarner ulted, you know, the whole team is going to have to buy QSS or whatever. That's not going to happen. So, you know, in one way, it's better in the fact that it can obviously get 3 people. It's worse in another way because you could flash it. Where before, if Skarner got to you, pressed and clicked his ultimate, you were got. That's the thing. Well, now, you can flash it if you flash in time, or you can jump out the way or whatever. You can get away from it. So that technically is a nerf to it, but yeah. So, let me get this up. Hang on. Where is it? Hold up. Wait a minute. Oh, wait. I know what's happened. Get rid of that. There you go. Objective timers, just so we have them. So the next dragon is less than a minute away. 59 seconds. So that could be the next big fight. Gwen is staying top lane. The Aurelion went top just to probably go get a little bit of free farm. I think at this stage, like, maybe Skarner should still be with the Gwen, but I guess he might also be thinking I need to get more involved in the game because he is actually quite strong. Maybe. So we'll see how this goes. Skarner, ooh. He was thinking about it. So you can see he does get killed pretty quick. 4 people on him. He's not immune. So we are watching the Skarner, even though he did very good earlier. It's starting to not go as good. Gwen is strong. So, again, a lot of this game, the red team are still winning. Blue team are actually crawling back a bit. But if this Gwen did not do as bad in the lane early phase, this game probably would actually be a lot closer, by the way. So we'll see how it progresses as the game goes on. Oh, that was a mistake by Seri. She did not respect the Jinx at all. And that should actually give red team Dragon, which, unfortunately for them, you know, for blue team, is a mistake. Because they actually should probably have got Dragon. They got the Skarner. That's their big front line gone. But then Zeri got caught. So, or she got kind of caught. Nice then play. Rakan gets caught, doesn't respect the stuff. And Gwen trying to defend mid lane. Jinx being really patient, waiting for that to drop. And then that will probably be it for now. So obviously the weakness, if you wanted to say, of blue team, they're very low range. Mainly, I would say, because they have a Viego. If you didn't have a Viego mid, it'd probably be okay. But having a Viego mid is probably nice little Q snipe there by Skarner. He's waiting. The thing is... Oh, he just ulted then, by the way. Bomb. Nice Jinx rocket. He kind of wasted his ultimate, but it is what it is. I get why he tried to do it. And now, actually, red team, even though blue was making a bit of a comeback, red team is now back on top. E coming through by Skarner. Hits the Rakan. Helps kill the Gwen, or does actually kill the Gwen. And there we go. I would say they've done a really good job with the new Skarner in his... I really do like the E. You know, because the thing with champions... I think one of the unwritten things when it comes to game dev or champion design is you look at a character, right? You have an expectation of what that character does. If, for example, if there's a big bruiser muscle guy with a massive big axe, what are you expecting that guy to do? You're expecting him to do a big axe attack, spin around, maybe like have a barge move. You have an expectation of appearance. And I think they actually have nailed Skarner being a scorpion in terms of, you know, scorpions do burrow. They do dig in terrain. I think it's pretty cool. I think you look at that Skarner and when you see his kit, you're like, yep, that makes sense. That fits really well. And I would say, when it does come to game design and stuff, that is one of probably the most underappreciated things that people don't think about. You look at a character and immediately you have an expectation of what they do. And some characters hit that really well. And I'd actually say overall, in League of Legends, they actually do a pretty good job with that overall. There's not many characters, if you look at them and kind of go, their kit doesn't really fit them. The vast majority of characters, the kit fits the appearance. Which is good. It's worth also knowing the people that are making the kit, they aren't massively responsible for what the character looks like. So the way that it mostly will work, again, based on my knowledge when it comes to what both game design and also to Riot, is they will come up with a kit first most of the time. They've had very rare, and I think there's only a handful. Oh, he needs to be more or better with his ultimate. He's wasting it a bit too many times. There's been a handful of champions that they have the look first, and there was one actually in the last year. I can't remember who it was. There was a champion recently in the last year that they had the look first, then they did the kit, but I can't remember who that was. But yeah, most of the time they make a kit. This is the passive QWER, etc. Now let's make a champion look like that kit belongs to them. That's the way that they do it. It's easier. It's the same when it comes to Disney animation, if you're like, what does that make sense? So back in the day, when they did animation, you know, back in like the 40s and 50s, they would do the animation first because it took so long. And then the voice actors would have to look at the animation and try to do their voice. And that's why sometimes in old animation movies, the voice doesn't align. In the 90s, I think it was, and I actually think it started with Aladdin because of Robin Williams. They did it the other way around. They let him do all the voice stuff first, go absolutely crazy, do all the mannerisms, and then they looked, and what the animators did, they had the footage of Robin Williams in the voice booth, basically being Genie, and they animated to what Robin Williams was doing in real life. And that's it's a better way of doing it, and that's kind of the same when it comes to game design and champions. Do the kit first, then make the look. So Skarner's TPing. Baron obviously is maybe on the minds of people. Gwen is in the wrong side of the map, but she's going to probably try and get away. By the way, that Gwen TP'd and ghosted, so the Gwen TP'd in a bad position, basically. Baron is now being pinged. They've got obviously super minions walking mid lane, and they are looking to do Baron. They also, good timing, and we can't see, by the way, Aurelion Sol's breath, another bug, I guess, when it comes to replays. But he is big ulti, Poppy with her ult, preemptively doing it for just like if the enemy's coming, but no one does. Skarner, oh, does he get through? He does, but he doesn't get the lock. Will he ulti? Doesn't need to, potentially. Oh, he does ult. Oh, he drags Kindred. Oh, that looked cool, but he doesn't get the kill straight away. He doesn't get the kill. So it is worth mentioning, I think it's pretty evident, the Skarner is actually a little bit less useful into mid to late game. He was really good in lane phase. He tilted a Gwen, and Gwen couldn't lane against him. But since he's got Heartsteel, he's only got 156. That's like, what, 5 auto attacks? That's all he's done since he's got Heartsteel. But yeah, overall, Skarner looks to be doing pretty well. Randuin's, by the way, second item is a really good choice this game. I'm going to speed it up because nothing's really happening. But why is Randuin's a good choice? I mean, crit Kindred, crit Viego, crit Zeri. There's 3 enemies that crit. I think Randuin's as well, if you know, dare I say, is actually an underutilized, and it obviously gives the slow. The slow is great. It's an underutilized or underpurchased item. I don't actually see it. Whoa, he's going for it. Flashes over the wall on the Zeri. She can't do anything. She's going to run away, but she dies to Scorch. Ace has happened, and that might honestly be game. They are pinging the Rakan. Yeah, admittedly, the Rakan didn't use his ult, didn't use Ignite, didn't use Flash, so that's bad. But yeah, so the strength of Skarner, you know, his mid-game team fights might be fine. He just wasn't involved in a lot of them. His lane phase looked the most annoying, and again, that's against a Gwen, who is notoriously a really tricky to lane against anti-tank champion. So. Damn. So yes, Skarner, let me know what you think about him in top lane. But if you guys did enjoy, do throw a like on it, throw a comment, throw a subscribe. I will try and play Skarner maybe in the next couple days, but I'll see you guys next time. Peace. Call down!